Shalom and welcome to day 22 of the Rabbi's blog here for counting the Omer. So today some more thoughts and ideas and a little bit of a chance to wax philosophical maybe a little bit today, as you'll see in a moment. But I'm intrigued really, as you know, between the interface between Messianic Judaism and Rabbinic Judaism, or at least the nascent forms of those two forms of Judaism in the first century, and how they rubbed up against each other and so on. It's an area of personal research which I'm currently undertaking, but it's a fascinating time period, as you can imagine. Because Messianic Judaism is in a really interesting position right now, because we're able to speak, or shall we say, able to challenge, really, in many ways, both historic Christianity and its theological views, and what we might describe as normative Judaism. I say that in inverted commas because, of course, there is no such thing as normative Judaism, as much as there's no such thing as normative Christianity. Each one claims to be the true path, and we know the debates and arguments that go on between the different denominations in all of this. We are in a unique position as Messianic Jews to really highlight the key fact in all of this of Yeshua's Jewishness, the fact that Yeshua is part of Judaism. He never left Judaism. He didn't set up a new religion. And as Messianic Jews and as Messianic Judaism that we all represent around the world in all our various shades of this are the implications of that core truth. I think it was Time magazine about 10 years ago just said this is the truth that will change the world, a core idea which is going to radically shake up people's thoughts and ideas about faith and religion, especially obviously within Christianity and Jewish traditions. So I'm just going to wax philosophical a little bit around this just briefly for a moment and pose you a question in all of this. If I were to ask the question, has Roman Catholicism or Christianity in general been made richer by the Protestant breakaway all those decades, centuries ago? And we know we're not going to get into detail of how exactly that happened, but has it been made richer because of that? You may think it's a strange philosophical question, but it's kind of midrashic, I think, for us in Messianic Judaism as well. Question is, did that breakup, did it bring fragmentation of the faith? Or did it bring a richness of the faith? What were the challenges of all of this? Because it's not just a neutral question and standpoint in all this. Because, of course, if you were within the Catholic tradition, you would be saying, no, it's a bad thing. Everyone broke away from the mother church. They need to come back to it. A real Christian is, of course, one who's a Catholic, and the others are questionable and so on. You can see where I'm going, I think, already at the kind of philosophical level of all of this, when we kind of attach the same pattern to Jewish thinking and Judaism in all of this. But you could argue both sides. From a Protestant side, you say, no, it's been great, it's brought revival, it's brought in renewed spiritual vitality, and the debates would go backwards and forwards. And of course, it's difficult to know even really where you place yourself necessarily on a spectrum like that, let alone where we do it as Messianic Jews as well, because we do have an answer to this. And the answer, I think, comes from what I will call the spiritual second law of thermodynamics, the entropy, decay. And we know this is true. All around us this happens in creation generally. You can see the decline and decay which goes on here. And the same thing happens in the spiritual realm too. Sin, human control, power, the corruption that goes with it. All of this brings about this kind of spiritual entropy. It breaks down what is originally good. However, a period of time, however long that may be, it begins in decay, and it begins to need something to bring it back to the true path again. And that what it needs, of course, is spiritual renewal. I think this is probably what drove the old Protestant reformers back in their day. And I think it's the same idea, if you like, the concept that is driving Messianic Jews now to bring a renewal to what Judaism can be. Because Judaism is good. Judaism is not a bad word. I know many people out there think that Judaism is this, that, and the other, and it's horrible. And we do not stand on that as Messianic Jews. Judaism is a beautiful thing. We love it. It's good. God gave it to us. It was in the Revelation and Sinai. He gave us Judaism. It's something beautiful from him. But we do, as Messianic Jews, believe in renewal, reinvigorating what he has given to us. Everything stagnates, everything declines, everything gets locked into ruts. People often just say that a grave is just a rut there with ends. It's just what it is. It's we get locked into patterns of doing things that just bring us death if we're not careful. And we need that renewal. And here comes the nub of all the issue, I think, for us as Messianic Jews. Yeshua brought spiritual renewal. He didn't set up a new religion. He brought spiritual renewal to Judaism, of what Judaism was meant to be. It restored having his Father, God, as central as a Jewish concept. And God should be central to Judaism. Surprise for you if you think otherwise. Torah is not the center of Judaism. God should be the center of Judaism. Worshipping in the Spirit, worshipping generally has been some of the key hallmarks of Messianic Jewish revival in recent years, is that the Spirit-led worship can be so powerful. And I don't mean just in a kind of a loose sense. It can be highly liturgical. But Spirit-led worship is a powerful thing. It's something Messianic Judaism really holds dear. The teaching of a spiritual relationship with God, as the scriptures say, that we can all know him and walk with him. This is something that's been renewed into Judaism through Messianic Judaism. The whole concept of bringing back the concept of the temple, that we are a living temple. This is something that Messianic Judaism has restored. It's not that we're just looking forward to a rebuilding of our temple in Jerusalem, as much as we may look forward to that. Right now, as Messianic Jews, as believers, we are that spiritual temple. Sacrifice. We don't have to think about ways of replacing sacrifice with almsgiving or prayer or ways in other forms of Judaism have been inventing. We don't need to do that. We have our sacrifice, Yeshua Mashiachenu. He is today our living sacrifice, right at the very heart and core of Judaism, because sacrifice is at the heart and core of what Judaism should be. The Mishkan was built to enable sacrifice. These are all good Jewish ideas. And in Messianic Judaism, we're restoring these ideas because we understand it through our relationship with Yeshua Mashiachenu. We are spiritual renewal. We are that forefront of real Jewish renewal, the renewal of Judaism, what it can be. And that Jewish renewal happens through Yeshua, the Messiah of Israel, with his Father, the God of Israel. Judaism is a beautiful thing, but like everything else, it suffers that spiritual decay, as it has over time. Just as over the fence in the Christian world, it has had that decay. But in the Christian world, you've had times of renewal, a drawing back to the Word, to the Torah again. Well, now the same process is happening to Judaism. It's time to restore it, to renew it, to bring it back to the glory of what Judaism can be, to the revelation that God gave, and now renewed and revived, restored, revitalized, through the life that Yeshua brings to it, through his sacrificial death, and through us as Messianic Jews. We can bring that renewal and revitalizing to our brothers and sisters in Israel and around the world. Yeshua said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. He's the restoration, the way, the real way of what Judaism should be, the living, the life of what it can be. And he is the truth. That truth, the living truth that Yeshua is the truth of what Judaism is and can be. And that is what we live out as Messianic Jews. Thank you for joining me today. There won't be a blog tomorrow because it's Shabbat. So please join me for the Omer count again on Yom Rishon on Sunday. I look forward to seeing that. Toda Rabba.